everyone, I'm Emily and welcome back to French Chef's Family. Today I'm going to do the flight attendant tag made by Wonderfully Ale. And I'm going to link her channel below, as well as Trolley Dolly and Primrose Paris, two flight attendant vloggers that have encouraged me. And today I want to tag Hansa Travels and Juju's Wings. I was drawn right into Juju's Wings channel because my oldest daughter's name is Juju. And so I was taken right in, and I love seeing your vlogs of where you're going, and you get to go some pretty cool places compared to where I go. This is a fun family channel. I never originally aspired to be a flight attendant vlogger. I kind of fell into it by daily vlogging, and then I would notice like people really wanted to watch flight attendant videos, and it was like so essential because people are really curious because they're trying to decide if this is a career for them. And so that just hits a lot of buttons for me because I really truly want to be a help to people, and that's just great. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form on your road to becoming a flight attendant, you can always find me on Instagram and or Facebook and direct message me if you want a little like mom, regional, part-time flight attendant info. So let's get right into it today. The first question is, where are you based? And I am based in well, this is kind of a tricky question. I am based currently in Portland, but I just got awarded a base of San Francisco. I commute, and so that's a huge part of my flight attendant vlogs. I just got awarded San Francisco, which could make my life easier, but the problem is I originally went to Portland because I was able to hold part-time, so I will find out in the next few days if I can hold part-time in San Francisco. My life is just crazy. Like even right now, I couldn't go to work last weekend because I've been sick, and I'm just barely getting over this terrible cough thing. We've been not vlogging or anything. Everybody's been sick in this family. So number 2 is, where's my favorite layover city and why? I love Arcata, California. I've had some great overnights there where we like ride bikes along the savage coastline and pick berries and go to little pubs, and just like one of those days where you're just like, this can't be my life. I can't be being paid $1.60 an hour right now to be like out doing this. It's awesome. And then the other overnight that I do a lot now is Guanajuato, I hope I'm saying that right, Mexico, and I just love going down to Mexico. It's a super great way to like shift change from my normal little life, and then next thing I know I'm in Mexico. I love everything about Mexico. I've spent a lot of time there, and I just love the people, the places, everything about Mexico. I could live there. And then how long have I been a flight attendant? I have been a flight attendant for almost 10 years this January. So looking forward to my 10-year anniversary. Being a fairly senior flight attendant, it's crazy. I never thought I would even make it past the first year. But once you get out of reserve, which I was on reserve for 2 years, it's like, actually, it's all been hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like, trying to have a family with this job, like, that's a lot of what I talk about on my channel and my other vlogs, but so I won't go into that here. But number 4 is, what's your biggest flight attendant pet peeve? And mine's a little different. I really like what other people have said. Obviously, there's so many things that can get us flight attendants. We're a peculiar bunch, but mine is when people treat me as if I'm like a criminal just for trying to be helpful or kind. Sometimes when I ask, you know, I try and be accommodating to either a mother who's traveling alone or somebody in a wheelchair or obviously traveling with some difficulty. I'll, you know, say, hey, just, you know, if you need me, I'm here. I'm also a mother, or, you know, I'd be happy to do anything if there's anything I can get for you. And I try really hard not to be overbearing or crazy about that. And sometimes you're just treated with this like look, or like, lady, who are you, and what do you want from me, and quit talking to me, and what, are you gonna steal my baby? It's very strange to me. I'm just trying to be helpful. That's my whole job. And I kind of get treated like as if I'm doing something wrong. So that always just makes me like, okay, sounds good. Good luck with life. Well, that's my flight attendant pet peeve. What is my favorite thing about being a flight attendant? I love people. I love people's stories. I love everything about like hearing how people are different from me. That's just a really big thing for me, and this job feeds me in so many ways. If I was left to my own devices, I think I would probably be just like a nomad with like a little, you know, handkerchief over my shoulder and just be like going different places all the time and just doing whatever all the time. I just need a lot of variety in my life. And so I feel like this job really allows me to have a normal life, be a wife, be a mother, like, you know, have a house, live in one spot, yet I can pop away and like do whatever, and we can travel, we can go this weekend to wherever we want, and it just gives me that like possibility thinking, which I really need and I really thrive upon. So it feeds my personality and my like inner motives a lot, so it's just the most amazing, perfect job for me. And by the time I finally found it, it was like so that leads into the next question of, well, let's talk about what the next one is. What did I do before I was a flight attendant? And the question is more or less, what didn't I do? I did go to university, but I had to put myself through, and I did all sorts of odd jobs during those years. Then I moved several times. I've lived in several different places, and even in France with my husband for a year, and I've taken on many, like I think the last count was like 28 to 30 little random jobs or paid jobs. In one year I had 10 W-4s or W-2s, whatever they are. Have done it all. So I'm really proud of myself for sticking with this job for this many years. That's why 10 years will be a big deal for this girl. I'm that kind of person that has a hard time sticking with anything. Mainly though, I will say that I'm mainly focused in the restaurant world. That's how I met my husband when I was a catering manager. He's a chef, as by the name of the channel. Do you want to come say hi? Come here. So my husband is a chef, and we met in working for a ski resort in Idaho, where I'm from, and we were both working over there, and we hope to open a restaurant someday, or a bed and breakfast is the real dream over in France, or, you know, we're very much into the up and coming trend of social dining. We're just restaurant people, so I will always try and be a flight attendant part-time, but restaurant is also a big part of our life and our hearts. This is my oldest daughter, Juju, who I just mentioned. She's my little twinner. Do you like to fly on the airplane, Juju? Are you happy Mama's a flight attendant? Get to go all over. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah? You got Minnie Mouse on today? All right, cutie. All right, let Mama finish this, and then we'll be together, and we're going to go to the park.
Mama,
we're going to the park
clean
today.
up my room.
Why don't you go finish cleaning up your room, and then we can go. I'll be done with this by the time you finish up your room. Okay, perfect. That's a deal. What made me decide to become a flight attendant? Well, I never thought about being a flight attendant until I met this girl right at this really crazy time in my life. I had just moved back from France. I was so confused about what to do. We were separated by visas. I didn't even know if I'd ever see him again. I really was in such a hard place in life of like, how is this all gonna work? I know I'm supposed to be with this guy, and it's just like never gonna happen. And I went and I was hanging out with my best friend who had just taken on a part-time roommate. And lo and behold, I'm like, well, what do you do? Just trying to get to know her, and she's like, oh, I'm a flight attendant. And I'm like, as soon as the words came out of her mouth, it was like, oh, like, it was one of the, I'll never forget that feeling. I know exactly where she was sitting. I know exactly where I was at. I just like that feeling of like, oh, the answer. Oh, thank you. And I never looked back. Like, that was for it, for sure, for done. Whew, best decision ever. And if you watch some of my other vlogs, I talk about how I actually got rejected and how I really had to like fight. I was like, oh, heck no, that's not happening. I'm working for this company. I'm a flight attendant. I have received from above the answer. So good luck trying to get rid of me. So here I am 10 years later. So I'm pretty happy about that. One product or thing I have to have on my layovers is, I brought them here, but these are my hot rollers. And this is how I do my hair. To just get a little bit of curl. It takes like literally 4 to 5 minutes, and it allows me to not wash my hair the next day. I've had these, I think, from way before. Like, I think I'm going on 15 to 20 years maybe of having these. I don't even know if you can buy them anymore. I have seen recently that hot rollers are coming back, and I even tried another brand and I didn't like it. So I love those. They really allow me a lot of flexibility with my hair. I can throw up a ponytail afterwards. I'm gonna do a flight attendant get ready with me video, and I'll show you exactly how I do it. There's 2 more. What has been the most challenging part about being a flight attendant? If anyone watches this channel, you know that it's commuting and leaving my family and all that I have established here. It's pretty hard, but I will say that there is a silver lining to all that. You know, all the build-up, it's really more before I leave. I've got all this build-up and all this anxiety and all this stress of like, is Alex gonna have the time off? How am I gonna get a babysitter? Like, is this all gonna turn out? And like, am I gonna get on the flight? And my brain almost just like the night before, I can just assure you that it's not a good night for me. And then I get to work and I'm like, as soon as I even get on that airplane, the commuting flight, I'm just like, oh, yay! Like, I'm at work. It's like a vacation, and I love it. And then the other silver lining is, honestly, like, after a few days of working and to come home and just like, almost like you've been living out of a suitcase for a few days, you've had nobody who knows you, nobody who cares about you, and then you come back and you just really, really, like, re-love your life. You're like, oh, I'm the luckiest woman in the world. Like, it's just like, it's really life affirming. And so that's definitely a silver lining to the challenging part of juggling and leaving your family and all that you have. And so number 10 is the best advice I can give a flight attendant, and I can say that Primrose Paris touched on this, I believe, where she was saying with the companies, but honestly, this is just a whole different ball of wax than any other job you've probably ever had. You cannot get your foot in the door, per se, to say with like a flight attendant job. You don't want to be jumping from companies. You don't want to just go with the first company that offers you something and then think like, oh, well, I'll transfer later. There's no transferring. There's nothing. Like, start with the company and really research. And if that means you take on a little random job for a year just to get in with the company that you know will be the best fit for you and your life, and really thinking long term, I can tell you from experience that I have known flight attendants that have just thought like, no, I want to work for a big company, I want to do it this way and that way. Like, they have envisioned the whole life but not thought about like the flip side of like, that's not maintainable. And like, what if you get based in Atlanta for 6 years and you live, you know, in Minneapolis? You might even have a base in Minneapolis, but what if you can't get there? I mean, there's just so many factors. Like, really, really, really research it, and you start with the company that you want to retire with, and that's what I'm here for. I think that's what every flight attendant vlogger that I've seen is really trying to show you a peek into what it is to be in their company. And I know we can't really say which companies we work for. That's why I'm always here for you. You can DM me on Instagram or Facebook under French Chef's Family. I'm so more than happy to help anybody to learn a little bit more about like the ins and outs of what it is to work for a regional company or a little smaller company. And that'll do it for today. So thanks, and happy flying, and good luck like with everything in flight attendant life, and or if you're just here for fun. Thanks for watching. I always appreciate your support. Bye guys, see you next time.